Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create explosion box with some amazing images of London. If you've never ever created explosion box, I really hope you'll give it a go. It is super simple and so much fun to create, and using one of the best collections ever, it is even better. So as you can see, I use lots of amazing images, and I'm going to show you the collection in a moment. So for today's project, I'm going to use London Celebrates collection from Relatively Thoughtful, and I think this is one of the best collections ever. It has lots of stunning background design papers, but also elements to fussy cut, including amazing flowers, gorgeous bunting, but also London landmarks and other images you're going to see in a moment. And that color palette makes me think about vintage style, but to be honest, it would be also perfect for masculine cuts as well. So in the description down below, I left the link to Relatively Thoughtful website where you can get this collection. And if you get it as a digital version, it means you can print it as many times as you want. So it's always a win-win situation, right? Now you can see all those elements to fussy cut, and they are simply magnificent. I absolutely love them. Even the frames with Union Jack, they are so gorgeous. And those buses, post boxes and London landmarks, I really like this collection. So you will probably see even more projects using this one because it is one of my favorites so far. So to create my project, I'm going to use an SVG file I got from Creative Fabrica from Gentleman Crafter, and I will also leave the link in the description down below. And using my ScanNCut machine, I created that box base. But using my trimmer, I created those panels here to decorate the box. So I've got some red and blue colors, but that blue is too light. So I'm going to use my alcohol marker to add slightly darker blue. So this way, I've got the colors of Union Jack, because this cat is someone who lives in London and really liked that place. So I thought this collection would be perfect. Have you ever visited London? If you have, please let me know what's your favorite place to see. Or maybe you do have your favorite gallery or museum. If you do, I would really love to know which one is it. And using my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, it is so easy to assemble all those elements together. And what's really good about Explosion Box, you can actually decorate it inside and outside, which is super cool. And at this point, you can decide where do you want to write your message. So for the base, I decided I'm just going to decorate it, and later on I'm going to use another piece of 300 GSM white card, and I'm going to create another box layer, which will be slightly smaller. Now it is time to decorate those panels, and I decided to use those 4 images. They are super beautiful, and using my trimmer from Crafter's Companion, I created those elements. But before I stick them on, I'm going to fold and burnish all those core lines. If you want, you can also use a bone folder to make your job easier. But as you can see here, it is super easy. So if you've never ever created an explosion box, check the SVG file I got from Creative Fabrica. So now those elements are ready, so I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to assemble them on my project. Because whenever you use any liquid glue, you do have time to maneuver the elements. That's why I really like it. So what do you think about that London Celebration collection so far? Do you like the color theme, or would you change anything? I think it is perfect. It is so beautiful and versatile, and to be honest, I've never seen anything like this before. So I think it is perfect, literally just perfect for any card maker, or paper crafter, I should say. So when these elements will be ready, it will be time to decorate other panels. I also wonder, have you ever created an explosion box? If you haven't, maybe I will inspire you. But if you have created your explosion box, I would absolutely love to know what occasion did you use it for? So here I've got another red and blue panels, and as you can see, I was checking what color is underneath because I really wanted to have that, let's say, balance on my project. And again, I'm going to use that dark blue alcohol marker to add that color on those panels. So don't worry if you don't have the exactly color that you want for your project. You can always adjust it using your alcohol markers or any color medium, even paints, and that would be perfectly fine. So again, using my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, I'm going to put those elements on my card base. And yes, it will be time to actually create some other panels, right? So, as you can see, those images of London landmarks are simply stunning. So I thought they would be perfect for today's project. So using my trimmer, I created those small panels. And whenever I create, like, let's say, elements for mats and layers, I always leave either 7mm difference or a quarter of an inch, so that will give me that nice border. So as you can see, those images actually work so well with that dark blue and red. I was very, let's say, amazed or shocked when I put those images on a box here. They really work well with that color combo. And at this point I thought maybe brown would be perfect as well, but that will be an idea for future project. So as you can see, our base is ready, but I'm going to decorate the inside as well. And for this one, I decided to use that design paper with Big Ben, but I'm only going to use the top right corner, so I can still use other elements from this design paper in my future project. So when this is ready, I decided to create one more base, which will be slightly smaller. And this time, I'm going to use my scoring board because it is 9 by 9 inches white card, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches all the way. So then it is time to turn it 90 degrees and score 3 inches on every single side. And using your scissors, you just have to cut the squares in each corner. So this way you've got another base for your explosion box. Super quick and simple, right? So for this one you don't really need any SVG files or, let's say, cutting dice, because it is super simple to create. I think the biggest problem with any explosion boxes will be how to create the lid, but using that SVG file from Creative Fabrica, it was so easy to do. You can always adjust your cutting lines here, like I did with my scissors, and using my bond folder, I'm going to make sure that everything is folded exactly where it should be. And as you can see, this one will be slightly smaller, because I really wanted that, let's say, pale brown border to be visible. So now it is time to decorate all those panels, and again, I'm going to use exactly the same red and blue colors. I thought I really like those, and they will match beautifully on my project. To use the same technique in your card making or projects, please let me know in the comments down below. So again, I'm going to use my dark blue marker to add that darker hue. Super simple, right? So don't be afraid if you don't have exactly the color palette for your project. You can always use anything from your stash, and I do encourage you, explore what you've got. I'm pretty sure you can create an explosion box with whatever you've got at the moment. So if you do, please let me know what are you going to create. So these panels are super easy to create, but as you can see, I'm going to decorate the inside and the outside of that element because I really want that professional look on my project. So again, using my liquid glue, I'm going to save some time because if I make a mistake, I can easily maneuver all those elements. But if you do want, you can also use red liner tape, and that will be perfectly fine. So as you can see, I'm just checking where all the colors go. And here with those panels, white panels, I will have some space to write a message. So actually, I'm going to create 4 of them. and on every single one I'm going to write a different message. And I think this is so cool about any explosion boxes. Now it is time to decorate, let's say, outside of that explosion box here. And again, I'm going to use the same colors, but this time I turn them, let's say, 90 degrees. So I've got red on one side and blue on the other side. I really wanted that contrast to be visible on my project. And whenever you have any excess of the glue, you can always remove it very easily with your fingers. So now it will be time to decorate the inside, and I'm going to use another small panel, and this one comes from the free design papers that were put on Relatively Thoughtful website for the amazing challenge. So you can check the website, and I decided to use some blue and red flowers to decorate the inside. I really like them, and to be honest, they are super easy to fussy cut with your scissors. So if you don't have, I don't know, maybe enough money to get the whole collection, you can always get that free PDF file. And I will leave the link in the description down below. Also, in the description down below, I will leave the link to Relatively Thoughtful YouTube channel, Instagram, Craft World account, and Facebook group. And also there is a group called RT Create, Make and Share. So if you do have any of the Relatively Thoughtful design papers, you can share your makes there. And I do encourage you to join that group, because every single day there are just so many beautiful projects. So please check them out and join our Facebook group called RT Create, Make and Share. All the information is in the description down below, so you can easily check them out. So as you can see here, I decided to have some panels with blue and red design papers, and I really like them. I have to tell you that this collection is super beautiful. So please check the website how to get this collection. So now when my box base is ready, it will be time to create the box lid. And using that SVG file from Creative Fabrica, it was so much easy to cut it with my ScanNCut machine. So if you have ever thought about getting ScanNCut machine or Cricut machine, I do encourage you to invest, because you can create so many beautiful projects. And trust me, it is worth the money. To be honest, I use my ScanNCut machine nearly every single day. So yes, I love it, and now I just can't think how did I live without it. So it's definitely worth the money. And if you're interested in the ScanNCut machine I also left the links in the description down below. So creating that box lid, it is super easy. All you have to do is literally to follow the score lines that my ScanNCut machine created using that SVG file. And if you have a bone folder like here, then it is even easier to fold and burnish all those score lines. So when these are ready, I'm going to attach them using my liquid glue, because I really want that strength, especially on the lid. And as you can see, with all those panels here, they've got like extra rectangle, which is slightly narrower, but this is to add some strength to the lid, and I really like it. But before I assemble it, I'm going to decorate the very top of my lid. And again, I'm going to use that blue and red design paper. It is simply beautiful. It is time to adhere it with my one and only liquid glue, magic glue. And at this point I thought I like it, but is there a way I can decorate it even more? So I'm going to use a die from my stash, but before I do it, I'm going to add some beautiful landmarks and also those sculptures you can see here, that they are in front of National Gallery at Trafalgar Square. So I thought that would be that very nice element to decorate the lid, especially on those red and blue panels here. So as I told you earlier, I wonder what is your favorite London landmark, or if you visited, which one would you like to visit again? If you know my videos, I usually talk about galleries and museums, and Tate Modern is one of my favorites. And usually on the very last Friday of a month they've got lates, which means you can go explore amazing art, but also meet the artists, listen to live music, dance a little bit, and also talk to amazing people. And there are usually some shows there as well. So usually on the very last Friday of a month I go to Tate Modern for lates. I also have been to lates at V&A, which is Victorian Albert Museum, and I do recommend this one as well. So if you have a chance to be in London on the last Friday of a month, go to galleries and museums for lates. You won't be disappointed. So as you can see, using my liquid glue, it is super simple to assemble all those elements here. And it's always a good idea to leave your project to dry for about, 2 minutes, just to make sure the glue sets properly before you move on to the next step. Here I've got that cutting die I told you about earlier, and this one comes from the works. I got it many months ago. It is one of my favorite cutting die. It is slightly bigger than my lid, but I thought even then I'm going to use it. I really like how it looks here, and it will be time to decorate it. So as you can see, I've got that left over from the panels I created earlier, and I'm going to use my made to surprise lightweight circle cutter to create that smaller circle. As you know, I don't really have any circle nesting dies, so this is the way to go for me. You can also measure how big it has to be first. Here I knew exactly how big it's going to be, that's why I cut it straight away. And it's always a good idea to have a cutting mat underneath so you don't damage your surface. It is time to stamp happy birthday, and these stamps come from one of the magazines I got last month, and the font is beautiful. I'm going to use my black ink from Spectrum Noir, and this one is black ink waterproof, but it always gives me that nice crisp image, especially if you have that stamping cushion underneath. So I do encourage you to use it whenever you stamp anything. Now I'm going to use gold mirror card and elegant alphabet cutting dies from Tattoo Red Lace, and I die cut the word Magda, because that is the name of the recipient. And whenever you create any words on a curve, I do encourage you to stick the middle letter first and then go left and right. And this way you'll make sure every single letter is evenly spaced. So, super quick and simple, right? So as you can see, I didn't really use any specific dies to create that project, but if you don't have your ScanNCut or Cricut machine, you can create your explosion box the way I showed you with the inner box. Super quick and simple. Now it is time to put all those elements here. But I think there is something missing, so I decided to add the same flowers I used for the inside of the box. And this way, all the elements will match on my project. So I do encourage you to use the same elements, and if you can decorate the inside and outside with at least one of the same elements, that would be perfect. Now it is time to check if the lid fits on my box, and yes, it does. I really like how this project turned out. If you like it as well, please let me know in the comments down below. I also wonder, what is your favorite part of this video, or let's say project? And if you do have your favorite element from that London Celebrates collection, please let me know in the comments down below. So there is plenty of space to write your message, and you can also write your hidden message at the very back of this box, and that will be super cool as well. So as you can see, we've got lots of amazing images here. And what do you think about the color palette I chose? Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And here you can see other videos I created using London Celebrates collection. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye for now!